25 million people live in one of the hottest, driest places on Earth, more than in much larger deserts. They are packed into a strip of sand where rain arrives in a single brief window each year, and sometimes not at all. This is the Thar Desert in Rajasthan. And yet, right now, satellite images show something that should not be there. Green, millions of acres of crops growing in the yellow sand. Fields of wheat and mustard where there was nothing. How? Most of the water underground here is laced with minerals that slowly poison the people who drink it. Rain is scarce. Heat is brutal. Life, by every reasonable measure, should not hold here. Someone figured out a way, and it started with one woman watching other women walk. The Thar does not lack water the way people imagine. Deep below the sand sit vast underground reserves. The problem is what is inside them. The groundwater here is saturated with fluoride. Every one of Rajasthan's 33 districts has groundwater above the safe drinking limit. In the Thar's own districts, Jodhpur, Bikaner, Jaisalmer, Barmer, Nagar, it runs roughly 3 to 9 times that safe level. In the worst pockets, far higher. Stat card: fluoride. All 33 Rajasthan districts above WHO safe limit. Thar districts, approximately 3 to 9 times the safe limit. Rajasthan, approximately 10% of world's fluoride-affected population. Drink this water for years and the fluoride works through you slowly. Teeth discolor and pit. Bones and joints begin to deform permanently. The condition is called skeletal fluorosis. There is no cure, only prevention. Rajasthan alone accounts for roughly 10% of the world's fluoride-affected population, which raises the question under this entire story: who figured out how to stop drinking it? The women and girls who walked for hours each day to fetch water were fetching water that was also harming them. The desert was winning, not loudly but quietly, drip by drip across generations. That is where this story turns, because one person saw it, understood what it meant, and refused to walk away. Around 1980, a woman named Shashi Tyagi left a comfortable city life and came to work in the Thar. Her inciting moment: she saw that women and girls here spent most of every waking day walking to water sources and walking back. No time for school, no time for work, just the walk. And the water they carried home was poisoning them. That image, women spending their whole lives just fetching dirty water, is what Tyagi could not leave alone. In 1983, she co-founded an organization called GRAVIS, Gramin Vikas Vigyan Samiti, based in Jodhpur. She built it on a rule that was unusual for its time and has never changed. GRAVIS builds a household water tank for a family only if the tank is registered in the mother's name, and only if the family sends its daughters to school. Graphic card: GRAVIS, GRAVIS, Gramin Vikas Vigyan Samiti. Founded 1983, Jodhpur. Co-founded by Shashi Tyagi. Rule: tank in mother's name plus daughters in school. Water was not just water, it was leverage. Tyagi insists on these two conditions because she understands the chain. Clean water frees a girl from walking, a freed girl goes to school. A girl in school changes what is possible for the next generation. GRAVIS grew from a handful of villages to more than 1,700. The underground water had failed people. It was scarce, salty, and poisoning them. So Tyagi's approach gives up on chasing the bad water and starts catching the good water as it falls. That is the single idea her whole life's work is built on. Stop digging down. Start harvesting from above. The pond, the field, and the household tank are 3 scales of that same move. Graphic card: 3-layer system. Naadi, village pond. 2 khadin, farming field. Taanka, household tank. All 3 catch the monsoon, hold it, use it. First, the community pond, called a naadi. an earthen basin that collects monsoon runoff and holds it. A well-placed naadi can supply a whole village for 8 to 12 months, long enough to carry people through to the next monsoon. Stat card, naadi. Storage, 700 to 40,000 cubic meters. Supply, 8 to 12 months per village. That handles the village. The field is a different problem, and the solution is 5 centuries old. The second layer is the khadin, a farming field surrounded by low earth walls. When the monsoon floods run across the land, the walls hold the water back. The field floods deliberately. The water soaks deep into the soil, and when it recedes, the moisture stays locked well below the surface, out of reach of the desert heat. Farmers then plant directly into that stored moisture. Wheat, mung beans, mustard, growing on water that fell weeks earlier. Tyagi revives this technique across the desert because it was purpose-built for this landscape. The khadin was developed by the Paliwal Brahmins of Jaisalmer roughly 500 to 600 years ago, priests who gave up the priesthood to become farmers and figured out how to grow crops in a desert. Graphic card, khadin, developed by Paliwal Brahmins of Jaisalmer, approximately 15th century, 500 to 600 years ago. Flood field to soak soil deep to plant into stored moisture. The third layer is the one Tyagi builds most, the taanka. An underground tank, sealed and covered, dug beneath a family's courtyard. The courtyard slopes inward. When rain falls, every drop is channeled through a simple filtration passage and into the chamber below. Sunlight cannot reach the water. The heat stays above ground. The water stays cool and clean. Stat card, taanka. Holds approximately 20,000 litres. GRAVIS, 10,000 plus taankas built as of 2024. More than 10,000 of these tanks now exist across the desert. Each one a family that stopped drinking fluoride-laced groundwater. Each one registered in a mother's name. Each one came with a daughter in school. For decades, Tyagi's approach spreads village by village, well beyond what any single organization can reach alone. Then, the Indian government arrives with something far larger, an artificial river, the Indira Gandhi Canal. About 650 kilometers of engineered waterway carrying river water from the Punjab into the heart of the Thar. Its branching network of channels stretches over 9,000 kilometers. Wherever the canal reaches, the desert turns green. Stat card, canal. Canal, approximately 650 kilometers, 204 kilometers feeder plus 445 kilometers main. Channel network, 9,000 plus kilometers. Command area, approximately 2 million hectares. Rajasthan, approximately 45% of India's rapeseed mustard crop, 2023 to 2024. Former desert becomes farmland. Rajasthan grows into the source of roughly 45% of India's rapeseed mustard crop. The canal looks to everyone watching like the happy ending. It is not the ending. Beneath the sand of the Thar lies a hard layer of gypsum rock. Canal water and flood irrigation soak into the ground and hit that layer. It has nowhere to go. The water table begins to rise, steadily, season by season. And rising with it is salt, pulled up from the deep layers where it had always sat, far below any crop's roots. A farmer named Jagdish Kadwasra lives in Rajasthan's Jalore district. In 2008, the canal reaches his village. He welcomes it. He switches from the hardy desert crops he has always grown to thirsty wheat and mustard, the crops the new water makes possible. Within years, the salty water table climbs beneath his fields. His land turns into salt marsh, not quickly, quietly. The same way the fluoride had worked, slowly, until the damage is done. Stat card, salt damage. Approximately 208,000 hectares affected by waterlogging and salt. The solution created a new wound. The fields that Tyagi's life's work helped make possible are now under threat. not from lack of water, but from too much of it in the wrong place. The work she began to free people from one kind of poisoned water now faces a different kind of poisoning. The desert is greener. Crops are growing where nothing grew. People who once faced abandoning their villages are staying. And the taanka idea worked well enough that government programs adopted the same design and spread it across the desert. A small idea that Tyagi built in a handful of villages became a national approach. That is the reach of one person with the right answer. The instinct to protect this land is not new. In 1730, in a village near Jodhpur, 363 people of the Bishnoi community were killed protecting sacred kedri trees from a king's soldiers who wanted the wood for a palace. The protest was led by a woman named Amrita Devi. The king apologized and banned tree cutting in Bishnoi villages. India now marks September 11th as National Forest Martyrs Day because of them. The salt is still spreading. Researchers estimate roughly 208,000 hectares remain affected in the canal zone. The fight that Tyagi started in 1983, with a condition about school enrollment and a tank registered in a mother's name, is still going. The desert is greener. The problem is not solved. That is the honest state of it. And it is against everything the desert threw at them more than anyone thought possible when Shashi Tyagi first arrived here. If you want to understand the engineering behind the canal that made all of this possible, and the much larger water crisis it was built to answer, that story is next.